Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand TV. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal brand and business development company. I want to take you on a journey through another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand TV series, you will differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build confidence, and reflect who you are. Building your 5-star personal brand is a great way to improve your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or any of my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh@5starbdm.com. Now, let's begin with our next episode on the Follow the Brand TV.
Five-Star BDM, Brand Development Masters, is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for the small to mid-sized business and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share business development challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement and operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. This results in more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Visit www.5starbdm.com today to learn more.
Field that I'm in right now, which is digital pathology, it's an emerging field. And only in 2017, US FDA approved using these digital scanners for primary diagnosis. And that is when people started digitizing the slides on a very large scale. Similarly, in the field of cancer as well, it is not just these features, but it is the spatial arrangement of those features which matters a lot in diagnosing, the cancer type.
Welcome, everybody, to the Follow Brand Podcast. This is your host, Grant McGaugh, and I have been doing a lot of work with my counterparts that originate from India. I don't know what it is with India, but I have an affinity with people from that area, and I love the way that they just embrace technology, and they're really embracing these new emerging technologies in AI. And they have just owned this space. And I am truly enamored. When I get an opportunity to talk to someone that truly understands from a layman's standpoint like myself, all the way to the very, very deep ends of the intricacies of the technology and what its use cases are, and you marry that with the healthcare world, that we can really start solving some of these complex problems that we have. And that's what we're going to do today with my friend Akash. Please introduce yourself.
Yes. First of all, thank you so much, Grant, for having me here. It's amazing that you give a platform like this for us to share our story and not just build an awareness, but also be a voice of motivation for those people who are looking to step into the technology world. And I would like to thank you for that. So. To the viewers, I'm Akash Parvatikar, originally from Bangalore, India. And right now, I'm working as an AI scientist in a biotechnology company called HistoViz. And prior to this, I got my PhD in computational biology, specializing in developing AI, explainable AI be more precise in the field of like early breast cancer diagnosis. And I'm super excited to be in this field. I'm personally motivated to drive a change for a good cause. And as we talk today, would be happy to go through like what is it that I love in the field and what is it that I'm looking to contribute. Yeah, happy to be on this show, Grant. Thank you so
Well,
much.
we got to unpack a lot of that. That is amazing what you just talked about. First, you throw out a big buzzword. I don't think a lot of my audience have heard before. You've heard the word AI, right? But AI is a big term. Explainable AI is something different. I mean, you've got to give us some examples, or how do you explain AI from a diagnostic accuracy perspective, especially something like breast cancer? I mean, what are you doing around this world of explainable AI?
Right. So that's a very interesting question, Grant. So when I talk about AI for breast cancer diagnosis, so it's mostly classification or making a decision. And to keep it simple, we can put the breast cancer into two categories. Say it is cancer or no cancer, right? So now you develop like these artificial intelligence tools to basically do that. Like you give it an image and you ask it to tell, okay, does this image show you cancer or it doesn't show you cancer? So at a very high level, there has been a lot of advancements in this area. Now to add another layer of complexity is the explainability part of it. Now many a times the AI that you have developed, it might not resonate with what an expert, such as a pathologist, would see when they diagnose the image, like a cancer or no cancer, because this AI would unravel at in a very complex space, look at like several different features. It might be like black box, where you don't know what's happening inside the black box, but it comes out like, it gives you the right answer, but you don't know as an expert how did it come to that answer. So for clinical application to put this AI into the clinical realm, you need to build tools which are explainable from a pathologist perspective, or to make it more trustworthy. And of course, to have like regulatory approvals, like such as FDA for that, because you would want to know as to why the AI came to this decision, and does that resonate with the decades of medical literature for cancer, how the doctors were diagnosing from all these years? Does AI follow that path or does it do something of its own? Because if it is something of its own, then you have to completely identify what are the failure modes, because you need to know when this AI will not work, and that's very crucial, and that can happen only if you invoke explainability into your system. And as we talk more of the project that I did, and more than happy to give more depth into this, but at a very high level, when people hear about XAI, which is short for explainable AI. What that means is there is an AI tool which will not just give you an answer, but it will also tell you why did it come to that answer, sufficient enough to understand, okay, what's happening behind the scene, and that just helps us get trust into the system. And again, trust is something, it's a process, right? Like it doesn't happen instantly. So you need to give it like several different images and see what it's doing, see why it failed, and that's when you build the trust. But then explainable AI, lets you have a platform to build that trust into the system. So,
That is so important. I've heard the term like causal AI. Is that the same as explainable AI, or is that a little different?
causality is one way in which you can invoke explainability. Like, I came to this because of this, and this. And then, all these things came together to make this decision. So, yes, like causality is like one of the ways to achieve explainability.
Wow, sounds like it's multimodal. That's what I'm
Yes,
hearing. And now you
absolutely.
do a lot of work in digital pathology, and that's a big word, right? So when you start adopting, this type of technology for digital pathology, and you work with HistoWiz, and you're talking about workflows and efficiency, just give us an idea of what this looks like, especially from a preclinical researcher lens.
Yes, so just to give a context, I work for HistoViz, which is a biotech company, and we provide histology solutions. What I mean by that is, say a customer gives us like paraffin blocks, like tissue blocks. So we do the grossing, embedding, cutting, and all that workflow, and then we digitize the tissue. More simplistically, we take like a photograph of the tissue at a very high magnification and make it available to our customers, who can now switch from looking at the tissue under the microscope to completely viewing it on a big screen, on like big monitor. So basically, this is the digitization process, and we were established in 2013, basically as a solution for lab researchers to like take away all the mundane tasks of what goes on to do histology. And from then on, we have grown as a company, and we have adopted digital pathology solutions. And the core of our business is we produce high quality data set with the fastest turnaround time in the industry currently. So to achieve that, we have adopted digital pathology technologies to get there. And one remarkable tool that we have is automated quality control. So just to give a context, so say you have an image, and say there is some issue with the image, right? It's out of focus, it's blurry, or there are like pen marks, or or there is some dirt on the image, things like that. So it's like, then you feed AI, then you feed the image into the AI system. It's as simple as garbage in and garbage out. Like, the AI is only as good as the data you feed in and the algorithm, right? So what we did is a couple of years back, and it's evolving. We developed an AI for automated quality control. Now, this takes a lot of human personal time to identify quality of images, which is quite like repetitive and boring from their perspective, because they want to focus on more important tasks as to identifying answers to some questions, some research questions. So uh, in HistoWiz, we have an AI assisted automated quality control that flags images which are like bad quality, and it automatically like detects any issues. We have made like a lot of progress in this front, in trying to sort of accelerate preclinical research. So most of our customers are in pharma, academic institutions, and biotech, who are doing preclinical research, maybe for drug discovery or things of that sort. So our job is to make their research more streamlined and give them exactly what they need, which is like good quality data set, and provide a platform for them to do research. So that's essentially what we do at Histovis.
You have to do your work first. You have to research, you have to study, you have to take courses, you have to believe in yourself, and you really have to fight hard. I see concerns, but I also see that as professionals like you and I in the industry, in this space, we need to help people and society by creating policies, frameworks, and guidelines, not only for organization, but for people, because this is going to be, AI is everywhere.
Best benefit is, at the end of the day, it's people helping people.
Events like today are so critical to getting out there, meeting other executives from competing healthcare systems, but today under one roof, we all get along.
I found everything really interesting. I loved the AI technology that's coming, all the integrations and the changes that are coming for the future state.
Whole experience overall, it's just outstanding.
Every year it just gets better and better.
It was amazing. I learned so much from all the sessions. I had so much fun. It was awesome.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm looking forward to engaging conversation and looking forward to learning more about healthcare IT and what's on the horizon.
It's a great conference. Everybody that works at South Florida HIMSS makes an incredible event. Probably the best regional event that I go to.
It feels like a family.
Well, that is a huge advancement. We're talking about biomedical imaging, intelligent diagnostics. We were talking earlier how things are moving from just information technology to intelligent technology, that there is a knowledge component that it can do things that faster, number one, than human thought. All right. And it can present you with some different options that you didn't have before. As you look at that, biomedical imaging, intelligent diagnostics, and you marry that in the context of personalized medicine, what are you seeing as some future advancements that we don't have presently?
Right. So that's a very good question, and I keep thinking about it as I'm in this field. So like what I envision is again like to take a step back. The field that I'm in right now, which is digital pathology, it's an emerging field, and only in 2017, US FDA approved using these digital scanners for primary diagnosis, and that is when people started like digitizing the slides on a very large scale. So this was like 7 years back. And then what happened parallelly on like parallel track, the field of AI was growing as well. It had nothing to do with digital pathology. These were like two independent entities, right? So this field emerged at a rapid scale, and then AI took in as well. Now I think there is like a marriage happening between these two, which needs to be evaluated. Like what I mean by that is, as the technologies are evolving within AI, for example, LLMs and Gen AI and all that, they might necessarily not be a solution to some of the digital pathology problems. So just because it's evolving, both are evolving at a very rapid scale, some of the AI that is coming up might not be the solution. So what I feel is to keep it quite simple and basic, and first to think like what are the problems in cancer diagnosis as of today. Like if it's breast cancer, many women undergo misdiagnosis, and this number is quite alarming. So there was a study in 2015 where it was published that for pre-invasive breast cancer, like more than 1 million women undergo biopsy every year. And I'm more than happy to attach like a link to the paper in the comment section once the podcast goes live. But among that 1 million women, close to 48% of the women have misdiagnosis. So either they're over-interpreted or under-interpreted. So the problem really lies in this disagreement between pathologists to come to a certain diagnosis. So that's a huge problem, not just in breast cancer, but in lung cancer as well, in prostate as well. So that's one big problem. Second problem is the difficulty in identifying those clues within the image, which can lead to a certain diagnosis for a certain stage and grade of cancer. So that needs to be thought of as well. So to answer your question, how do I envision this in the realm of personalized medicine? I feel we still need to be on the track to address those problems. We shouldn't deviate ourselves to maybe creating new problems by taking on new technology. We should still focus on what the problems are and try to bridge the gap between misdiagnosis and correct diagnosis with AI, and then see what more can be done with biomedical imaging and intelligent diagnostics. And I would say maybe you can think global but act local. Like you can think big about personalized medicine, but then focus on what problems are there right now, and try to solve that one by one, tick it off, and then move forward in the technology. So
I completely agree, and I've heard this a lot when working with people that are in the world of cancer, specifically even in breast cancer, in which there are women that have more dense tissue than other women. And then when they go through radiology and that type of thing, and they get some of these imageries, that it doesn't pick up as much. And they're not attuned, I guess, to those anomalies. So I am moved at the fact that there's a different way of getting to a better result. Because what you said, that number of misdiagnosis, that's something that we can't live with. When we talk about precision medicine, or we're talking about AI, which we always feel it's more precise. We like the precision and the speed of the precision. Another aspect is deep learning. I love deep learning because when you really understand, this is when I see the AI and machine learning really taking off, is that it can go beyond our normal textbook understanding of certain things and come up with different results. And what you just talked about, explainable AI, said, you know what? If the AI goes off the reservation, just to say, it comes up with this whole new different care package on how we're going to diagnose and treat a patient, we got to understand where it's coming from and is the data actually accurate. You do a lot in this deep learning world. What you're doing, graphing, and you said what you're doing with your company with HistoWorth. Just talk to us a little bit about how you're engaging with that kind of technology.
Yeah. So I have had exposure with a lot of deep learning technologies, not just at HistoWiz, but with my background as well, doing PhD, and even before that, while doing masters. But more so from the past 6 to 7 years, it has been for digital pathology as a use case. And again, many of the technologies have come, and some of it has fit rightly into the field. And for example, there is graph-based deep learning approach, right? So there, what it captures is not just the image and the features within that, but then how they are spatially arranged. So again, to give a very simple example, just like how important is a spatial relationship in identifying cancer. For our viewers, to make it more simple, say you have an AI to detect a kitchen versus a living room, right? As simple as that. So you can say something is a living room, say if there's a couch, there's a television, there's a coffee table, and things like that. But it is not just that, right? It is also there's a couch, but then in front of the couch, there's a television. And then you have a coffee table which sits between the television and the couch. Now, if you identify each of these features independently, like couch, television, coffee table, you may say it's a living room, or you can say it's something else. But then if you combine the spatial arrangement of all these, your confidence to say something as a living room increases, dramatically. So similarly, in the field of cancer as well, it is not just these features, but it is the spatial arrangement of those features which matters a lot in diagnosing, the cancer types. So graph-based deep learning allows you to do that, wherein, you can look at a spatial neighborhood and create a graph of that neighborhood, and then you can have these multiple graphs and use that as a classifier. So it preserves the spatial interactions, and it will give you more understanding of how the biological entities interact with each other. So there are different flavors to deep learning. This is one of that. And at HistoWiz, as I told you previously, we use AI for quality control. And that is based on a simple deep learning method with few layers into the network. And we have a training data set, and we feed it images, and then it says if it has a specific issue or not. So the exposure has been great, but again, it's quite fascinating to see how different deep learning methods give you different kinds of information.
Man, who's your favorite podcaster? Man, Grant, man. I love Grant's podcast. Well, who's Grant? I'm going to send you the link. I love Grant.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaugh, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-Star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaugh explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
Ready to elevate your brand and make a lasting impact? Dive into the world of the Follow brand where insights meet action. Shop now at our e-commerce store for exclusive merchandise that speaks to you. Transform, engage, and soar with 5-Star BDM. Your journey to brand brilliance begins today.
Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, is turning heads in the healthcare and information technology sectors with his groundbreaking approach to personal branding and business development. By challenging conventional strategies, he's setting a new standard for how executives present themselves and their businesses to the world. McGaugh's expertise isn't just about standing out. It's about strategic guidance, generating leads, and building networks that propel executives beyond their competition. His focus on authenticity allows leaders to leverage their unique stories, driving exponential growth and success in their industries. Beyond branding, McGaugh is a fervent advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace. He's committed to helping organizations cultivate environments where innovation and collaboration thrive through inclusive cultures. And for those eager to dive deeper, McGaugh hosts the Follow the Brand podcast. Here, he unpacks the intricacies of personal branding and business growth, offering valuable insights for professionals eager to redefine their identities and share their narratives with the world.
I completely understand what you said because I got this image. I remember someone had told me this story, small, short story a while ago. And they said, we took a man and we blindfolded the man. And then we brought him into a room and we had him describe to us what you see in the room or what you experience in the room. And he went in the room and he would touch something and said, this is a trunk. And then he would go to another part. He said, this is a tail. And you go to another part, this is a hoof. And what he couldn't understand is when he took the blindfold off, that you were touching and feeling an elephant. And so you would have never known that by just getting the parts as he was explaining it. And he's like, this is an elephant. It's very simple when you see the whole. So I feel that what you're giving us in your technology, that you can see the whole room or the whole home and then the entities within a home instead of just trial and error and seeing certain pieces of it, which is not giving you the entire diagnosis or the entire spectrum of what's happening. I think that's very influential.
Absolutely, Grant. And also to add to that, here what we're trying to do is we are trying to first build AI, which is as good as a pathologist, and then improve upon that. And now to do that, we want to mimic close to how a pathologist would look at an image. They don't look at each feature. They have this perceptual and cognitive ability to absorb multiple features, put it together, view it as a whole, not as parts, to come to a decision. And that's quite fascinating to understand, perceptually how they look at these images and come to a decision. So I had the leverage to take a few courses in cognitive neuroscience as well during my PhD to gain a deeper understanding as to how does decision making happen, and how our bias is formed, how our confusions formed, and use that to like sort of like develop my own AI framework during my PhD. So.
I think that's so important because we're human beings, we have to look through the neurological lens. That is our own state of awareness is a part of that pathology.
Right.
Let's say, whether it's right or wrong, but it's a part of that. And we have to look through that lens and see what we can see and discern what's really there. Now, you went to Carnegie Mellon, and I think that was the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine. How did that shape your approach to pathology?
First I joined University of Pittsburgh for my master's, and then I got into the PhD program, which is a joint program between Carnegie Mellon and UPMC, which is University of Pittsburgh Medical School. And so I was again like fortunate to be trained by an advisor who sort of like made it simple for me to understand, because I don't have the background of cancer biology. So my background is electrical engineering with a signal processing specialization and robotics. So I come with a different background, but my advisor, helped me like get into this field and make me understand as to what the problem is. And like I spend a lot of hours in understanding like this field and trying to like not just from an algorithmic perspective. We collaborated with McGee Women's Hospital for a data set to work on breast cancer. And my advisor was quite clear that, to be able to graduate from PhD, you cannot do that just by developing a deep learning approach, getting some accuracy and that, right? It has to be explainable framework and trying to understand the core of where this data set comes from. And for that, like I had to spend hours together at the hospital along with a very well-known pathologist, one of my advisor, and spent a lot of time with him to understand, okay, from his perspective, what does he see when he looks at these breast tissue images, and why is this case difficult versus that? And I had to gain all that knowledge before building AI. So like I would say my PhD was at the intersection of being a computer scientist, developing AI, and computational pathologist as well. We're trying to understand the data set. But it was a fabulous experience, and that experience has taught me that to be able to develop any good AI, you need to have a good understanding of the data that it's coming from when you train these algorithms. So yeah.
I want you to help us understand this, because we have some younger folk that are listening in. And some people just aren't super technical, but they need to understand this because the framework of how we use technology is changing. A lot of people understand how to use a computer or a mobile phone, understand social media, things of that nature. Televisions have been around for a very, very long time, but our technology is changing at lightning speed. If you were talking to a fifth grader, how would you explain data, AI, and what you're doing with both of those things?
Right. So to keep it very simple, data, like for my field, it is just images that you see, right? And again, I would like to explain it. Forget about cancer diagnosis, digital pathology, and all these jargons, and just say you look at an image and you want to be able to tell what that image is, right? And again, say you have this small camera, you take a picture, of a kitchen, it's a kitchen, but then say you want like a system to tell, oh, it's a kitchen, like wow, then for a fifth grader, like he or she might think it's magical, right? So the data here means like a lot of pictures of your apartment, like it's kitchen, bedroom, playroom, like living room, and all of that. Now AI will come in and tell you, as to say you give a new picture, say you go to your friend's house, right? And you click a picture there as well. Now the AI will tell you, oh, it's a kitchen. And now you're like, oh, wow, okay, how did it do that? So then you start thinking of like, there is this technology component that comes into play between data, which are the images, and the decision, which is like, if it's a kitchen or not a kitchen. So that's like, then how does it do that? That means it's looking at the image, it is looking at things in the image, like, say if it's a kitchen, it's looking at a refrigerator, a microwave, a kitchen top, and things like that. And, putting it all together and saying it's a kitchen. So when you go to your friend's house, when you take a picture, again, the system tells you that, it's looking at the same refrigerator, microwave, and all that. Now, your friend's kitchen might be very different. It might not have a refrigerator. It could have something else. But then the AI may make a mistakes there. So then you come back and you improve your data set, which is you go to your friend's house and take pictures there too, and then add it to the data, and then go to your other friend's house, and now this is a continuous process. So I think that's how I would explain.
Hernan Londono. I am an AI strategist. I've been a technologist for 30 years, and now I'm with Dell Technologies as an AI strategist. So happy to be here. Everybody's worrying about the practical application of anything specifically, let's say cloud. And then in the background, there is this need about understanding what is responsible, what is ethical, what is fair.
Hello, leaders and visionaries. Are we ready to exceed our ambitious goals for 2024? At 5-Star BDM, we're your strategic partners, not just futurists. To the trailblazers in business development, healthcare, and IT, you need a path to realize your vision for growth. Our tailored consulting services are your stepping stones to success. We empower you to build brands, deliver results, and captivate audiences. In healthcare and IT, innovation is progress. At 5-Star BDM, we ensure your operations beat with precision, efficiency, and care. Join those who shape the future. Connect with us today. Let's set the stage for a defining quarter. With 5-Star BDM, it's not just business development, it's a beacon of excellence.
That's very good. And everyone has a cell phone. And in that cell phone, I guarantee you have a lot of images. And, it's about understanding what those images are. Like, let's say I go to India, right? I go to India. Yeah. I understand there's multiple languages in India. I understand English. I'm very one-dimensional, right? But I know that if I was there for more time, I would begin to understand the languages, because language are images, because they're explaining something they're seeing and sensing. And over time, I would begin to be able to make the sounds that go with that image.
Yeah.
And so as we begin to understand how AI works, because it needs good data, and then it understands, just like in a basic decision tree, if, then, right? It's the same thing. However, it's doing it at a very, very fast, very, very fast level. So getting back to our original, and we're going to get to we're getting to the end of our podcast. And what I heard you're saying is that you're really doing some interesting work around cancer diagnosis. Because a lot of people understand that just in case you did have cancer and you're going through something like that, you go get a screening, and then they're going to be looking through radiology. A lot of times, as a user, you go in, they put some electrodes on you, or they put this vest on you, and then you might hear some buzzing, you might not hear anything, and then they're getting an image, and then someone has to then look at that image to see if there is some kind of anomaly that's taking place. You're doing something unique. I want the audience to truly understand what it is that you're doing, and that why this is going to be so impactful as we roll out more and more into the community.
Yeah. So even now, the pathological diagnosis is considered as the gold standard. You get a tissue biopsy, and then it gets sent to the lab. They do all the processing. At the end of the day, the pathologist looks at it under the microscope and comes to a decision, right? So I am in the field of what is called as a digital pathology, so which is like one step ahead, wherein now it's not like a physical glass slide under the microscope, but then you digitize it, and now you will be able to, again, which I mentioned previously, you'll be able to see it on big screen, and you can also zoom in, zoom out. You'll have all the capabilities of the screen to look at those images. So now, since you have digitized, it opens up lots and lots of opportunities to add in intelligent diagnostics on top of it, because it is digital, which was a limiting factor when there were just physical glass slides where you couldn't do anything with that, just look at it and diagnose. So I am in the field wherein you have gone one step further, and you took the images of the glass slide, and then you try to answer questions as to can you detect these features, can you detect the quality of the tissues, can you be like a guiding tool for the pathologist for them not to make mistake. Again, very simplistically, if you imagine like a Tesla car, right? Like the thing is, you are still the driver, but it is equipped with so many new functionalities and intelligence that will not that will lesser the probability of you getting into an accident. with all of that. So it's like an assistive tool which has like several different features, and then you can either turn it on or turn it off. You have the capability to do that to avoid an accident. So in my case, accident refers to misdiagnosis. So we are trying to build algorithms so that the misdiagnosis is reduced, and it's more assistive, wherein the it need not be only a pathologist. It could be a clinical researcher, or in pharma or biotech companies, where they could turn it on to sort of like quickly see what's happening, and then they can ask more important questions in the future. So uh, right now, we have like a couple of AI tools on our digital platform called Pathology Map at Histoviz, and we're actively venturing into third-party AI tools through our strategic partnership, because we have a wide variety of data set in the preclinical space across multiple different organs, not limiting to breast or lung. We have skin samples, prostate, and many different organs. So we are launching a platform called Pathology Map, where we would also let in other companies who are developing specialized AI, say for skin, or specialized AI for, say, lung. They can come onto the platform and try to plug it in, and our customers can use all these tools. And just to give a context, from the past decade, we have worked with more than 400,000 researchers across 3,000 institutions, spanning across very popular like pharma companies, such as like RevMed, Calico, Sanofi, and all these companies. So and we have scanned more than like 2 million glass slides, and we'll be doing it more. So through the platform, we will be enabling, again, keeping the message quite simple. We want to like build tools to help researchers assist them in what they do, and Histoviz to the platform enables you to do that and accelerate research. So.
Yeah, you got us on the edge of our seats. I know I'm on the edge of my seat. We got to know how to contact you. This is so important to make sure that this kind of research, these kinds of technologies, and we've got to get over the fact that everyone gets a little bit antsy about AI. I think it's going to take over the world, stuff like. I think we watch too much sci-fi to a certain degree. It's like, no, these are assistive tools. I'm glad you stated that. This is a better way of doing it. Most people are not, very concerned when they go out and they get an X-ray. So you're doing something similar to that, but now you have a much more intelligent component that works around that. And I love the fact that that explainable AI, like, all right, how do we get to the answer? We don't want, as we've heard, like in generative AI or LLMs, you get hallucinations and there's certain biases, and you got to root those things out because you've got to be very, very accurate in getting these diagnoses correct. And we can only improve from where we are right now, according to your statistics that you gave earlier. So, Akash, how do we get in touch with you?
Oh, well, you could reach out to me either on LinkedIn. You can look up my profile, or you could send me an email if you want to chat with me. And probably you can put both this information in the description when the podcast goes live. So I'm just like an email or a message away. If you want to chat about the opportunities in digital pathology, or opportunities and where the field is going for AI in healthcare, happy to have a conversation. Or if you just want to brainstorm ideas for how to adopt and invoke AI in healthcare, I'm all in for that.
I'm very in for that. We got to get you into HIMSS. I'm also doing another oncology summit. Her Health will be in Orlando, October 26th and 27th. And we'll be talking a lot around these different things to a great group of oncologists, gynecologists, and others around Her Health. So be on tune for that. I also
Fantastic.
wanted, because this is so important, you've been a guest speaker at a lot of different conferences, and you were just at a pathology conference. Tell us more about that.
Yes. So this was in San Diego last month. So this is the Digital Pathology and AI Congress that happens every year all over the world. It's a premier conference for digital pathology, which attracts like leading experts, not just scientists, but like pathologists and like the stalwarts of this field to the conference, and gives me a great exposure. I have been going to this conference from past 3 years as a speaker, and this year it was beyond fabulous to seeing the kind of exposure and learning that I received during the talk, during like tea breaks and conversations and all that, just to get like a brief sense as to where the field is moving, what people are talking about, like the assistive AI for pathology. That's good. And I think like going to these conferences, like, it also put things into perspective as to what you are lacking and what you need to cover to sort of like bridge that gap of understanding. And it's like it's one umbrella under which you will meet like all great minds together. So it's a very like energetic atmosphere. And I'm sure it's the same thing with HIMSS and with the other conference in Orlando, which I'm like super excited to be like a part of and join. But yes, so this is more tailored to only pathology, and it was a fantastic experience.
I can see that. I can see that. This has been wonderful. And I want to invite your entire audience to tune in to all the episodes of Follow the Brand. They can do so at 5-Star BDM. That is the number 5. That is star BDM, B for brand, D for developmentinformasters.com. Akash, this has been wonderful. I want to thank you so much for being on the show, and I can't wait to work with you again.
Fantastic. Thank you, Grant. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Man, who's your favorite podcaster? Man, Grant, man. I love Grant's podcast. Well, who's Grant? I'm going to send you the link. I love Grant.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaugh, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-Star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaugh explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
Ready to build a 5-star brand that stands out and captivates? Discover the art of crafting a strong and memorable brand identity. From choosing the right colors to making your brand unforgettable on social media, we guide you every step of the way. Learn how to design a brand that resonates deeply with your audience, ensuring they not only remember but love your brand. Whether it's enhancing visual appeal or mastering social platforms, we have got you covered. Dive into the world of impactful branding with us and see the difference. Follow the brand for more insights and expert tips. Don't just be seen, be remembered. Join us now. Tune in for our next show or click on our website at www.5starbdm/followthebrandtv. Thank you.